Well, and it happens all the time. So as a marketer, when I'm hired to either do project work or come in and consult, people think they need marketing. So many business owners think that they need marketing, and what they really need is customer experience support.
Oh, we're recording.
We're recording.
Push the button.
Just like that.
Just like that. There was no like 3, 2, 1. Hey, you're on. No, you're going.
Yep.
Oh, golly. Well, thank you for joining me. I am here with Tess, and I was trying to think earlier how I met you, and I was thinking, how did we meet? It isn't something that I normally can remember a lot of, so please don't be offended. And I finally remembered that it was a connection with Aaron. But what I do remember is my impression of you when we met via Zoom, and how I was so impressed with your authenticity and your integrity, because I think I connected with you because of your Shitty Idea Time podcast, and that you're a marketer and you work with businesses. And there was something that you had said to me when you interviewed me, that just narrowed in on, oh my word, that woman is the shiz. She's like not afraid to dig into where a real issue is, and she doesn't want to hide something. She's got people's best interests at heart, which speaks miles to me for integrity. So anyway, that was kind of my impression of you from the beginning. I immediately was like, oh my word, this woman is amazing. So with that kind of introduction, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Oh, thank you so much for that. Integrity means the world to me. It's one of my highest values. So having that as an intro is huge.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not afraid to dig in. So I'm Tess. I am the host of the Shitty Idea Time podcast, founder of the Small Business Incubator. And long story short, I was a longtime marketer turned gym owner who now helps other business owners master the business stuff. And there are so many pieces to small business ownership that I really excel at putting all of those pieces together and helping people put the pieces together. So like, how does it fit? How do I go from I have an idea to, oh, I'm a confident business owner? Those two things are very, very different. And so I help people get into biz mode.
Which I love, because we need more rock star women business owners that cut to the chase and like, let's get there faster, let's get from point A to point B now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, and I do like your podcast very much. I listen to it, and it's always fun, and I always take away something from it. So yeah, thanks for doing that. It's fun. I'll link to all those things below in the notes.
Perfect.
So you connect. Well, specifically, I wanted to talk to you about something that you had said to me when we were talking a while back. You just said it with such like out there. Something about there was a story about a business who had come to you with a marketing issue, and you had said, "This isn't a marketing issue. This is a customer service issue." So can you say that for me?
Well, and it happens all the time. So as a marketer, when I'm hired to either do project work or come in and consult, people think they need marketing. So many business owners think that they need marketing, and what they really need is customer experience support. We've all probably heard some form of the statistics that are like, it costs so much less money to retain a customer than it does to get a new one. You could probably cite those statistics better than I could.
Yeah, that's all right.
And when we talk about marketing, every piece of the business can be a potential marketing tool. Marketing in general is simply building awareness and generating leads in your business. Your customer service, your customer experience, the ways you're interacting with your existing customers, that is marketing gold.
Mhm.
And if you're not tapping into it, that's usually the first place I like to start as a marketer, by referring out, right? Like, I give away my own work. Like,
Mhm.
I would rather not keep a client who needs that kind of support than try to market to solve a surface level problem, when there's this like huge untapped bank of customers that you could just like easily like knock on their little door, be like, hello, are you still there? And they'll be like, yes,
Come
I'm
on
still
in.
here.
Come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many businesses are overlooking one of their most valuable assets.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to touch on, because this is what I want the takeaway from this video to be, is from a marketer's perspective, because I see it all the time, because marketing's sexy, right? I mean, who doesn't like it? I like it. It's pretty stuff, and it's, all that fun value stuff, and it's putting it out there. And when you said that one of these businesses that said they needed you for marketing and they had a marketing issue, and you said, you were so straightforward. Like, this isn't a marketing issue. You guys have a problem with your like customer service experience, and which is reflective of culture. So I just wanted to kind of highlight your experience and talk about how what people might be looking at, what they might be looking at and going, oh, I need to maybe look over here. So that what you just said is a perfect illustration of that. So do you have without disclosing, of course, anyone's identity, because I'm not doing that. But do you have just an example of just a story you can tell me about a business that said, hey, I've yada yada problem here, and you came in and said, ooh, XYZ, and here's the issue. And how
It shows up all the time in reviews. That's the best, easiest example I can share. I had a client who had very low Google review scores. And they're a local business. And so that part of their business is really important.
Yeah.
Now, every business is going to have some positive, some negative, but for what they wanted their kind of community persona to be, like, they wanted to be seen as a leader within their community, and their Google's reviews did not reflect that at all. And so they wanted to create a campaign to both get more Google reviews, awesome, and they wanted to implement a technology to automatically ask for these reviews and then vet them so that the positive reviews get shown on Google and then the negative reviews get sent to a customer service email. And I see this a lot. There are plenty of platforms that start with like a text message, and then you get to click 5 stars. And if you click 5 stars, then you get sent into this funnel. And if you get, 2 stars, you get sent over here into this funnel. And I fucking hate those things.
Yeah.
I hate those things. If you're watching, don't use those. Just fix the heart of the issue. Fix why you're getting negative reviews in the first place, so that you don't have to funnel 2 people. Because what happens when you do funnel 2 people is, one, you don't get the opportunity to fix the issues. Chances are those negative 2 stars get sent to this like no reply email address where you never get to see what you're fucking up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never get to see it. You never get to fix it. You never get to address it. And you never get to delight those people that left you those 2 stars in an attempt, usually, if you're good at this, a successful attempt at turning them into a 5-star user who's then going to tell more and more people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I shouldn't be sitting down. I should be like pacing around the room, because I so resonate with you on this. I've experienced with a business that wanted to do this very same thing. And they said, oh, I've got these bad reviews, and there was a program that would not post those bad reviews, but instead send them to this private thing so you could kind of take care of them yourself. And I said, no. People need to see good and bad, both of them. And if you have a bad review, if you have the majority of your reviews are good and then you have a bad one, people are going to get it that sometimes there's a one-off. They're looking to see how you address it. I interviewed a local business here and he told me, he said, one of the things that got him business from a far away client, that there was another business that could serve this person's needs. It was much closer, much more convenient. He said specifically, it was because of the guy came in and said, the reason I chose you is because of the way you responded to a negative review. I was like,
Yes.
gold, right? Gold. Yeah, I'm so with you. Please don't hide those reviews. And you're right. That's the wound, or the surface level wound. You got to go figure out the deep things and fix that.
Well, and often, I mean, your reviews as a business owner, whether you want it to be the case or not, they are an accurate representation of how your community feels about you.
Yeah.
And if you have 1.7 stars, you probably have some work to do.
Yes.
And it's not bad. And I'm not saying that to shame anybody. And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad about where you're at. And I'm also not here to like blow smoke up your skirt if you have like a 4.5.
Right.
But it's such a clear indicator of where your strengths are and where your blind spots are, not just in that number rating, but also what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
So with this particular client, I went through all of the positive reviews, all of the negative reviews, and found the top themes. I'm like, what are they said friendly staff, very educational, takes time to deliver a quality experience. So when we're on.
Yeah.
And then the negative reviews are about cleanliness, the schedule being behind. This particular industry had to interface with insurance, and there were insurance complaints. And so what was good was really good. And we were like, okay, let's elevate that. Let's make sure that we're always doing the good stuff.
Yeah.
And let's make sure to address it, because there are such clear themes in the negative reviews. And now that's about as much as I know about customer experience. I wish I knew you and were able to refer to you. But there's so much that's like, it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, low-hanging.
And it makes your marketing that much easier, because say I didn't address that issue and I got 1,000 new reviews for this client, because with marketing, right, my goal is now to build awareness, get 1,000 more reviews. Mm-hmm. They're going to come in at that same ratio.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You're right. Still going to be perceived as a 1.7 stars.
Yeah.
You're just going to have more of them, and it's going to be harder for me to fight against that.
Right.
But when you fix the problem and then you build your awareness and then you grow and then you make sure people are giving you reviews, holy shit. Not only does your star rating go up, but your people are happy. They're
yes.
Well, you can't even accommodate the number of people who are coming to you simply because you address the root cause of the issue.
Yes. And then your employees are happier, so they stay longer. You don't have so much turnover. And I love what you said, like, to take this is a key takeaway that people can use from this, is to look at those good reviews and the not so great reviews and find some common themes in them. So what are the themes for both? That is so helpful, because they can feel so, stroke your back, and then so attacking. So it's difficult to, and I always say, read it a couple times, let it sit, and then read it again later. And then, so putting those two into some themes is great, because you're right. You do want to celebrate and work on those strengths. And then you're right. You got to work on those weaknesses, because there's not very many people. I can't think of course, when I want to bring up the statistic, I can't grab it out of the air, but the number of people who actually will complain, I wish I could think of it. Maybe I'll find it and put it in here, but it's very small. The number of people that will complain actually to you is minuscule. They'll complain to other people. First, they'll go somewhere else. They'll just say, not worth my time. I don't like it. They'll complain to their friends, and then they'll put something online. Like if they've come to the point where they've actually told you and put something online or told you, in person, yes, it can be really hard to take, but the attitude should be, or needs to work on being one of, wow, I'm really grateful that you brought this to my attention. It's an attitude shift of like, you're not attacking me, which is hard, easier said than done, but a gratitude of thanks for bringing this to my attention. Because if there's one or two people and they have this common theme, there are so many more that aren't saying it in the first place. Those are great takeaways for businesses. Yeah. And yeah, I love it. These are good, Tess.
Well, they're so important because otherwise you're going to waste just a ton of, I mean, you and I talked about this. We talked about the difference between marketing budget, which everybody knows, understands, versus what part of that marketing budget are you going to allocate to your customer experience? So many people waste so much money on marketing that just don't need to. And it's such a huge frustration of mine because in the corporate world, we understand, like when I was doing marketing for big brands, I understood, okay, here's our customer retention policy. Here's how we're marketing to our existing customers. It's a part of a marketing strategy. And I think somehow the language when we're talking to small businesses, we think of marketing as purely new customer acquisition. And it's not. That's not how big brands approach it. That's not how it's done in corporate. Like your marketing, if you're not spending a chunk of your marketing budget on existing customer retention, start now. Like start now. If you're not already doing it, there's time. You're not too late, but start right the fuck now.
We could just end right there. That is perfect. I love it. We always want to copy what big businesses do because they spend a crap ton of money on R&D and there's reasons that they do what they do. It's not haphazard. So I love that gem of taking some of that, rethinking that marketing budgets is not all this going out. It's this, it's retaining. That marketing budget has to be for retaining people. I love it. Thank you so much for just spending time and sharing your knowledge and your insights, because it's from another woman's perspective, still somebody who's passionate about supporting small businesses from your marketing perspective and your ownership perspective, and you're passionate and you're just, straight talking perspective. I love it. And it's super, super valuable. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And if I may add one thing, because I am guessing that there are some other marketers that are watching this video, and maybe not just small business owners. If you are a marketer and you don't understand this stuff, start to learn about it. Contact Samantha, contact whoever you need to contact to learn about why this stuff is important. Because let me tell you, when you are in a position of knowledge as it relates to customer experience, you are going to be in far higher demand because you're going to be better at your job. And when you have that abundance perspective of like, yeah, I think you really, instead of marketing, need to do this, your people are going to trust you that much more. And it's only going to be better for your business, right? That's what you can do from a marketer's perspective to improve the experience of your own customers. So just wanted to highlight that, because I'm guessing some marketers are probably going to watch.
I like that. That's 100% true. And because when you can make a better and a more impactful impact, the small businesses that you work with will rise exponentially faster. Yeah.
And they're going to see a higher ROI on the money they spend with you. And like, it's all just going to get,
it's
all going to go
crazy.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you.
Oh, I love you, dear. Thank you very much for joining me.